Because if you're a Chicago Fire fan, you're probably still trying to pick your jaw up off the floor. Your heart is probably still pounding. You might have even yelled at your TV. I get it. We all did. You asked for an article about the shocking news, about Stella Kid, about that tragic moment that had us all thinking the absolute worst. You didn't provide an article to rewrite, but honestly, we don't need one. We lived it. What just happened on our screens was more than just a plot point. It was an emotional gut punch that none of us were ready for. So let's just get into it. Let's process this together, because Firehouse 51 is our family, and what just happened to Stella Kid, that one hit way too close to home. Here is the 1,000-word, high-engagement piece you're looking for, written from the heart. Did Chicago Fire just break us? Let's talk about that Stella Kid moment. Let's just be real. We tune into Chicago Fire every week, knowing we're signing up for an emotional ringer. It's part of the deal. We expect the pulse-pounding rescues, the close calls, and the blazing infernos. We even brace ourselves for the heartbreak. But every once in a while, an episode comes along that doesn't just pull at our heartstrings. It yanks them clean out. The latest episode, Ghosts, was one of them. And it all centered on one character we simply can't imagine 51 without. Lieutenant Stella Kid. We've watched Stella grow from a driven, sometimes reckless firefighter into the confident, unshakable leader of Truck 81. She's the heart of the house, the Stellar in Stellaride, and a certified hero who has faced down everything from abusive ex-husbands to literal bombs. We've always seen her as invincible. And maybe that's why seeing her go down didn't just feel shocking. It felt wrong. The call that changed everything. It started like so many others. A call comes in, and 51 rolls out. This time, it was a call to a building with a potential gas leak. Instantly, the tension is there. Fire is scary, but what you can't see is often so much worse. The team, led by Kid, gets to work. They split up to cover more ground, a standard procedure that every fan knows is just code for something awful is about to happen to someone who is alone. And that's exactly what happened. Stella, being the leader she is, pushes forward. She finds a victim, unresponsive on the ground. She radios it in, her voice calm and in control, just like always. She's doing her job. And then, silence. That's the sound that breaks every Chicago Fire viewer. Not the sound of an explosion, but the sound of a voice that's suddenly gone. The sound of a radio call that goes unanswered. When the rest of the crew finds her, the scene is the stuff of our nightmares. Stella isn't just down, she's out. She'd been breathing in that toxic gas for too long, and she collapsed, unconscious, right next to the victim she was trying to save. More than just a brush with death. The show is calling this a brush with death, but let's be honest. That doesn't even begin to cover the feeling in our chests as we watched it unfold. This wasn't a heroic leap through flames. This was quiet. It was insidious. She was taken down not by a raging fire, but by the very air she was breathing. There's a different kind of terror in that. It's the kind of danger that reminds us that these characters aren't superheroes. They are just human. The panic was immediate. Seeing the new firefighter, Vasquez, and the rest of the team scramble, seeing them realize their lieutenant was down. It was chilling. They rushed her out, got her on oxygen, and the paramedics took over. But can we talk about the real tragic part of this? The part that shattered us all. Kelly Severide. We had to watch Kelly Severide's world stop. This man has been through hell and back. He's lost his best friend, his father, and nearly lost his own life more times than we can count. But the one thing that has finally grounded him and given him a reason to fight for himself has been Stella. The look on his face when he realized it was her they were carrying out. the frantic, terrified way he watched them work on her, his eyes never leaving her. That wasn't just a husband scared for his wife. That was a man watching his entire universe crumble. We all know that Severide is a shell of himself without kid. In that moment, he, and we, had to seriously confront the reality of a world where Stella didn't wake up. It was brutal. And it was, hands down, one of the most emotionally devastating, Stellaride moments in the history of the show. We saw the man who is normally the calm in the storm, the one who runs into the collapse, look utterly and completely broken. The aftermath, and our emotional hangover. Yes, by some miracle, she was okay. She got checked out of the hospital, fulfilling the tragic hospital terror, and was cleared to return to duty. She even shared that quiet,